So 5 type of women that will drain your money, your time, and your energy when you are traveling.
If you're gonna take an hour of your life and physically pumping a looking her in the eyes, and she doesn't even like you, there's gonna be a negative energy you're gonna absorb one way or another.
Yep.
Whereas if she is in love with you, it's gonna make you more powerful as a man.
The first woman is Miss Bored. There are women that are in other countries that will drain your time, your money, and energy just because they're bored. Just because you're the new or exciting thing in town. You're the new guy. You're the fresh face. You're the foreigner, whatever it may be. Let me hear what you have to say about Miss Bored.
I would say I experienced that a lot in Kenya because to me, Kenya is just Nairobi is a big college campus. And the women there seem to party every day, drink every day. Not all of them, but if you go there, you'll know them. It has to be about 80% of. There's a very small amount that don't seem to have unlimited free time on their hands. And those women cost, even though you're in a second, third, whatever it is, second or third world country, those women will start to cost you just as much as it does in the States. I can say that was on me though. And that was just because I was just trying to sleep, I was trying to get it all out of me, sleep with as many women as I could, try this and try that.
Yeah,
the more I've traveled, now that I've been gone 15 months, I'm starting to realize, okay, yeah, it's time for me to update my standards, and I can go, a while without sleeping with someone. But I want my track record to be better now, and I'd rather have less.
More quality than quantity.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Number 2 female type of women that would drain your energy, your money, and time when you're traveling is the average woman. In some countries, when we get off the plane, guys, we are in the top 10%. And you use your time and your money and your energy on the average female that might be based off of economics in the bottom 10%. Guys, you always hear me say you guys spend your time with beautiful bottom feeders, women that have nothing going on. And so let me hear what you have to say about Miss Average or Miss Average at best. In certain countries you get there, you are economically, socially more advanced than that woman who you're wasting your time, your money, and energy on.
Well, she has nothing to pour into you because she has an average mindset. Back home, it would just be that I'm going to go to college, get a good job, and pay off my debt, and then I'm satisfied with that. I'm not satisfied with that at all, and my work ethic shows that. And if the woman cannot pour extra ideas, I've had women in the States that were pouring ideas into me before. It's not just abroad that I've had that, but if you go abroad and I'm having a hard time explaining. It's just not the best idea. You need to shoot for something that you feel like you actually deserve.
I want you to say that again in regards to you need to shoot for something that you deserve. Have you found your choosing signals when it comes to these women changing based on the type of quality? Like when you first left, you probably just gave the average Brazilian a chance. But now as you've advanced as a man, you start to realize like, okay, certain women now I don't waste my time with anymore.
Yeah, so this happened, I would say that was yesterday. And this is why I say about go for what you actually feel like you deserve. Where I was at yesterday, and she's a server, but beauty standards, I don't know her yet, but beauty standards, this is something that I would really like want to brag about, like, oh, look who I met today. And so those women, she didn't send any choosing signals. So those women I noticed actually want you to be the full aggressor, and they may like you, but they're not going to show you majority of the time. So I had to tell the server, they sent a male server to her, and I said, tell her I'm not going to eat here if she doesn't serve my food. I want her to be my server. And she was so appreciative and just infatuated with the fact that I did that. She showed the highest interest. But if there was other servers and hostess in the restaurant that were choosy, but to me they were kind of But 10 months ago, I would have been like, oh, that beautiful chick, she must not be interested. I'm just going to go for the one that has the highest interest. But it actually turns out the other way. And then when you get basically bullshitted by the average chick, it'll feel worse because you know that, like, oh, this is not even you. You don't even deserve me. Like, and I'm letting you get away. Like, I'm letting you flake on me. I shouldn't even be talking to you.
Let's get to the next woman, Miss Clingy. A woman in another country will drain your time, your money, and energy. If she is too clingy, she ain't got no life, she ain't in school, she ain't got no job, she ain't got nothing going on, but she wants to spend 24/7 with you, and she try to block you from seeing other women.
I would say that's a mix between Miss Bored and Miss Average. Because I think even the average chick with a job is clear. I actually experienced this in Brazil where she didn't want me. I'm in a new country. I'm in Salvador. I'm in a new city in a new country that I just moved to. And this chick would always call me. And the first thing she asks, where are you at? Like she caught me. Like, where are you at? Okay, I want to come over. She wants to spend the night. She wants to hang out until the next day. She'll go all the way to the gym with me. And then when I leave the gym, she wants to see me again. And honestly, I thought women lost interest the more they had you, but apparently that's not the case for all women, especially these type. But it blocks you out from your purpose. And if you aren't mentally strong and you don't cut her off, a lot of dudes will forget their purpose and just focus all in on the pleasure.
And that's where the draining of the money, the time, and the energy comes in. And it may not be that person might be draining your money, but they may be draining your time, and they may be draining your energy from being around that person. Shout out to my man Aaron from Black Men's Travel. He said that when he was in Thailand, he was dating a woman, and he said within the first couple of days it was cool. He said, but then he said, well, I got business to take care of. You need to go home. And this woman basically broke down in tears. What did I do wrong? He's like, no, I got work to do. I just need my space to myself. You've been here a couple of days. Thank you for doing the laundry. Thank you for cooking. He said, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you later tonight. But she just could not uncling or assume, because she assumed that he might be replacing her if she leaves or whatever it may be. So you're absolutely correct when it comes to a situation like that. That's a blend between Miss Bored and Miss Average. Mm-hmm. Next woman we're talking about, guys. Now realize we're talking about 5 women that will drain your time, your money, and energy when you're traveling. We already talked about women that are bored. We already talked about women that are just average. We talked about clingy women. Now we're going to push the envelope. We're going to talk about needy women. All you Western Union poppies, listen up. All you guys that give extra tips on pay for play, listen up. There are women out there that are needy and will send you photos of grandma in a coffin. See what I'm saying? Just to get a few dollars from you. There are women that are needy and will try to use you while you're in other countries. Let me let you emphasize on or speak on this particular topic.
So I actually had a video that went viral. I think it's really good that I'm a content creator when I talk about this kind of stuff, because I can get a global reaction from this kind of stuff. But I talked about when I left Africa and I went to Thailand a few months ago about how much better it felt to take a break from, and it's not all African women, but there's a lot of them that I was dealing with in Nairobi, that every time I see them, yes, I got something out of it. But at this point, it was like, I might as well just do pay for play. Every time I see you, you need money for this, and you need money for that. And that's when I started to think, okay, maybe they were on to something when they said that she needs to have something going for themselves. I thought about, I'm a provider. I'll take care of everything. That's cool, but to a certain degree, that has to have a cutoff point. I mean, it's kind of on a bumpy line, but I guess maybe that's cool in the long run. It depends on what she provides to you. It has to be more than sex. It has to be, because otherwise it makes more sense to do pay for play if you just go give her gas money or give her money for lunch tomorrow, which is nothing, but it adds up over time, especially if you're seeing them a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ozzy says this, and he put in a question for him. He said, most Kenya women ask for money?
No, not really. But to some degree, a lot of them do have a long-term game. They might have asked for it up front, but they have a strategy when they're picking. A lot of them.
Did you find that when you were in Southeast Asia, when you were in Thailand, women play the long game when it comes to economics? Do they play that long game too?
Yes, they do. I would say the majority of dudes would say that they do, and they often, from the stories I've heard too, they often have some sort of game to get you 5 years from when you meet them, or they're gonna nickel and dime you for the next 5 years, and then you look up and you spent $200,000 on her and her family. I think that's more common in Southeast Asia as well.
That's what I heard, and I've been following some of the stories of men that have lost houses. A lot of homeless U.S. men that are in Thailand right now that are homeless. They lost everything, not because they can't, like they say in Colombia, the woman go get you. She's gonna scope you. You're gonna pass out for 9 hours, and your stuff go. But I've heard that in Southeast Asia, what they do is they play the slow game. In 5 years, like you said, you've come out of 200,000. You didn't realize that you came out of that money due to situations like that. So you're absolutely correct. And like I said, when it comes to being needy, there are women out there. Their plan and their plot is to drain you of what you have. The last one of the women, the 5 types of women that will drain you when it comes to your time, money, and energy while you're traveling is a woman that you allow to get too comfortable. This woman sat back and she just nuzzled into your life. You did, like Austin said, you decided to allow her to hang around, Miss Needy, hang around so long that now she's comfortable in your life. And she's also comfortable with her behavior in your life. You want to come down to a country where a woman can cook. This heifer ain't cooked for you nan time you've been there. This woman is comfortable with asking you and begging you for money. Let me let you hear what you have to say in regards to that, Austin.
So I would say I had this happen nearly in one of the last South American countries I went to, where there's a chick that I was dealing with, and she is always at work 7 days a week. And she got to a point where another expat that was in this country was telling me, like, over here, you're basically going to have to take them out of work. If you want to actually get to know her and spend more time with you, you have to take her out of work. But then I thought about when she does make it time to spend the night, how much little stuff do I have to correct her with that I would have to deal with on a daily basis that she's already comfortable with doing? And I know a lot of dudes wouldn't really check these women because they put them on pedestals. And that will slowly start to drain you. If you had to tell her, oh, make the bed, or I need you to wash these dishes, stuff that we complain about that women don't do in the States. If you see it happening abroad and you don't check it, and you take her out of her job, the chances of her fixing it is slim to none. I think it should be handled before you take her out of her job.
Because a lot of guys do have, they say they want one thing, but they don't act on it. And I think that's one of the things that you really emphasize on your channel, is to let guys know that if this is what you really want from women, act on it, speak on it, say something about it. Don't sit back and assume that she was born in South America, so she's going to automatically do it. Sometimes you have to sit back and listen, babe, we need to sit down and talk. I'm going to need for you, because I'm so busy taking care of this and that and editing videos and so forth and so forth. I really need for you to take care of this, that, and those. And if you don't say anything, it'll never happen, because you allow her to get comfortable. That's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of dudes do. You allow the woman that you've been with 3-4 years become comfortable. Then all of a sudden you're the one that's making the bed every day and trying to take care of business and cooking your own meals and washing your dishes. But you were the one that took her out of her job, out of the element, just so she could be up under you and be comfortable.